Hello, everyone. This is Jim Waters with the Bluegrass Institute for Public Policy Solutions, talking to you today about Amendment 2 and what school choice could mean for Kentucky. If Amendment 2 passes, Kentucky's lawmakers will be free to consider other K through 12 options for families and for their children. And there are many options available, like charter schools and scholarship programs like education savings accounts, which provide funding to parents to pay for the best educational fit for their children and to provide supplemental services like tutoring or special needs therapy, whatever it may be. Many other states have adopted these types of programs. In fact, all 7 of Kentucky's neighboring states have some type of school choice program. So the question we're looking at today is, how will teachers fare with more charter schools and with more school choice programs? Everybody is concerned, Dr. John Garen, about how teachers might be affected with school choice programs. And Dr. Garen is a Bluegrass Institute scholar and former economics professor at the University of Kentucky. What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, Jim. Well, I think everyone recognizes that teachers are really key in the educational process, and that it's important to retain and keep the teachers happy and thinking they're and believing they are in a good job environment. And of course, teachers, like everyone else, likes a good job environment, job satisfaction, and of course, they particularly like connecting with students and helping students. But of course, just like the rest of us, they also care about their salaries. So there's been some research on what happens to teacher salaries when school choice is implemented. So I got a couple of slides here we're going to show here. And this first one is how Kentucky really has not been taking care of its public school teachers in terms of salaries. The slide over here on the left shows what's happened to per pupil funding from 1990 to 2023. And it's over more than doubled. And this is taking out inflation. And this slide over here shows what's happened to teacher salaries, again, taking out inflation from 1990 to 2023. There's been a little bit of an increase, but not much, but nothing compared to more than doubling the salaries, the funding for schools. Now, what does school choice or charter schools have to do with that? Well, as it turns out that there's been a good deal of research about what happens to teacher pay generally, public, private, and charter, when charter schools or school choice comes into the picture. And one paper I quote from here by Professor Jackson of Northwestern analyzes changes in teacher salaries at traditional public schools after the opening of nearby charter schools. This is in North Carolina. And he finds that schools that face greater charter entry increase teacher pay, indicative of a demand-side response to attract and retain better teachers. So and this is generally the findings of this research literature, when there's more competition that pushes up teacher pay. Now, of course, teachers care about other things as well, job satisfaction, the job environment, and apparently indications are that there's some difficulties there. And that's borne out in a poll that I've seen here. And this is asking about teachers whether they consider themselves to be thriving. And unfortunately, only 50% of teachers say they are. But if it's broken down by private school teachers, charter school teachers, and public school teachers, and both of the former two, there's about 2/3 who say they are thriving versus only 41% of public school teachers. So I think this is indicative of the problems we've heard about, where teachers having morale problems and difficulties dealing with their environment. And it's also indicative, I think, that charter schools and private schools provide a very different environment for teachers, and oftentimes one that they like a lot better.
Thank you, Dr. John Garen. And certainly charter schools, private scholarships, school choice options, if Kentucky is allowed to undertake these, will provide a lot more options, not only for parents and families, but also for teachers as well. And every indication is they will thrive in such a competitive environment. So thank you for joining us for this discussion about Amendment 2 and what school choice could mean for Kentucky. From the Bluegrass Institute for Public Policy Solutions, find us at bips.org. Thank you.